War, Love and Survival by Helena Osinski. Of Fairfield West, 2165. Narrated by Janine Penfold. Who is this person that is all loving, confident, yet fiercely independent? Her name is Helena, whose childhood was inspired by two fascinating people from different cultures and backgrounds, and furthermore, how their life's history made me. The Dolphin, an old English pub, could be found within the bounds of Coronation Street in the historic university town of Cambridge. The pub had an underground, cobwebbed cellar, and beyond the cobbled courtyard, a stable that housed chickens and ducks. Patricia, my mother, would venture into the stable to play with her rag doll and Rusty the dog. Her parents were busy publicans who had no time for their young daughter. Her father, Herbert, had 4 daughters from his previous marriage. Patricia's mother, Beatrice, was ostracised by her stepdaughters, who constantly displayed their animosity toward her, as she was 25 years younger than their father. Years later, Patricia heard the wagging tongues of fire defaming her mother, who apparently was in love with a Spanish doctor, a recent graduate from university who wanted to marry his English Rose. Beatrice had been too afraid to go to Spain, as the revolution was still in progress. World War II ignited in 1939. Patricia was a young lady, and the boys she had attended school with were off to war. The streets, which once saw parties and gossip, became deserted and quiet. Most mothers stayed at home, looking out the window to see whether the telegram boy would stop outside. Patricia, who was now at County Grammar School, helped local families with childminding and any other jobs. However, she was no angel, having been seen leaving college together with another young lady in a jeep driven by an American. Consequently, quite a few detentions were experienced for that little episode. Her parents were still running the Dolphin. In fact, business and patrons had increased with the arrival of the Americans who were stationed nearby at the local RAF bases. Patricia enjoyed all the excitement that the Americans' arrival brought. However, she was not immune from sorrow. Her first date, Ray Grzinski, had been killed in Europe. Ray was from Chicago and often spoke of his mother's inability to speak English, as Chicago was filled with Polish shops, so English was not a requirement. Ray's death was followed by her fiancé, Bill Williams' death. Bill was a fighter pilot whose plane had crashed on the south coast of England at Clacton Beach. Patricia was fortunate during this tragic time to welcome to the Dolphin many well-known stars, like Clark Gable, James Stewart and the Attenboroughs, all came regularly to the pub as there was no entertainment elsewhere. The Dolphin came to their rescue with a piano and beer. Patricia mingled and danced with the stars. When the Nazis arrived in Bydgoszcz, Poland, in 1939, my father Jan was working part-time at the local railway station while studying engineering at university. After the death of his mother, Helena, his father had married a woman with 3 daughters. The daughters were her only concern. Jan and his brother Henry were not held in high regard and were deprived of many basic essentials. Jan and his friend Jerzy had been at their Sea Scouts meeting when the Nazis arrived at the hall, demanding everyone follow them immediately. Both ran, and Jerzy was shot in the leg. As Jerzy would be a hindrance to the Germans, a Nazi officer ordered Jan at gunpoint to bury his friend alive. Jan continually recalled this event in his nightmares, and I was forced to relive this event with him. Upon Jan's escape from the work camp, he joined the resistance movement, who provided him with false papers. With his ability to speak German and his blonde hair and blue eyes, the resistance wanted him to act as a double agent in the German army. His first assignment came after he broke his arm and was admitted to hospital. It was here that the German officers spoke freely about their plans and movements. The information became so vital to the resistance, Jan knew by using the window he could re-break the arm and stay in hospital to gather further information. Returning to the resistance, and while on another mission, he was captured. Jan, when placed in front of a firing squad, knowing the command for fire, slumped to the ground. When night fell, he made his escape under the fence. However, boots were counted and a pair were missing. The searchlight scanned the surrounding area and Jan was machine gunned down his left side. Crawling on his stomach for 2 days, an American hospital unit found him. Surgeons were preparing to amputate his left leg and arm when a Nazi doctor, who had been experimenting at Auschwitz, stated he could save them. Jan had a meritorious war history, serving in countless fields of war, including being one of the 12 men who sent information from Peenemünde about the flightless bombs to the Allies. He finally arrived in England as part of General Montgomery's 8th Army. During 1949, Patricia and Jan encountered each other in Cambridge at the Dolphin and, with his limited English, had asked her to meet him. Not then, but then. Making a cross with his fingers, he said, "There," and then held up 6 fingers. Patricia going, "Friday, not then, Saturday, Catholic Church at 6 p.m. After a short courtship, they decided to marry. Patricia's mother disapproved of the penniless Pole and refused to attend the wedding. In 1963, my parents, being victims of discrimination, decided to emigrate down under. My character was moulded by my parents, their stubbornness not to give in to adversity, and their need for family, security, and stability. From my father, I learnt forgiveness and the understanding of why I was never allowed to leave food on my plate, and from my mother, the need for acceptance and love. This is what made me. The end.